Now, one of the things about human beings, if you're traveling on a trip, and I love road signs. I just got a traffic ticket yesterday in San Jose. He actually reduced it way down because I told him, this is a crazy city. And you can't, how do you get out of this city once you're in it? Because that song, Do You Know the Way to San Jose? They say he wrote it in downtown San Jose. You don't know where you are in that city. It's just crazy. And I told him, he said, didn't you see that sign? I said, no, I didn't see the sign. Why didn't you see? It was right in front of you. I said, I really didn't see the sign. They hear that every time. Didn't you see that sign? Yeah, right. You know, it's clear as day. Well, that's what the angels say to people. Didn't you see that sign? It was right in front of you. No, I didn't see it. Why? You know why I didn't see the sign? Because there was a mailman in front of me going like this. Right? You know what he was telling me? There's a cop behind you. Don't turn left. He distracted me from seeing the sign. That's what Iblis does. You see, Iblis, he's out there. You know, do that, and that's what you don't see the sign. Ignorance is not an excuse in the eyes of the law. You have a driver's license. You're driving a car. There's signs that you're supposed to know what you mean. You took a test to prove that you know what they mean. And then you're going to plead ignorance. I didn't see it. Well, you should be more attentive. Right? That's what he says. So he writes you a ticket. And then you have to pay a fine. And when I said to him, look, I didn't, he said, well, hey, my job is to write tickets. That's what the angels said. My job? I'm just doing my job. My job is to punish you. It's not to, that's what he was saying to me. My job is to punish you, not to sit here and debate. You broke the law. It's an infraction. And that's my job. And I'm sorry. It's a painful thing to do if I really think about it. But it's my job. There you go. So what can I do? Rip it up? The police come. They take your car away. There's if you ignore the warnings, because that's just a warning. If you ignore that, there's more repercussions. It just gets worse and worse and worse. So imagine humanity on this highway. They're driving along. The first sign they see, Lustville, 100 miles. Suddenly speeds up, only 100 miles. If I do 100 miles per hour, I'll get there in an hour. That's good, right? He's going to Lustville. On the way, there's a sign, Paradise, and it's pointing that way to turn. Does he see that sign? No, because he's so preoccupied with Lustville. He can't see the sign to Paradise. And then there's another sign, Gluttony Land. Maybe he's a glutton. Gluttony Land, I'm going there. Floors it, right? Can't wait to get there to eat. So he doesn't see the sign to Paradise. Each one of these signs that people see on the road, and they can't see that other sign because they're so preoccupied with their destination. But they chose that destination. Somebody works for FedEx, but he's got a gambling problem. So he goes out in the morning with all these packages, and then he passes by a gambling casino, and I'll just go in and do one time on that slot machine. Right? Goes in one time, and then suddenly one time leads to another, and then suddenly the day's over, and he suddenly goes out, and he's got all these packages that he hasn't delivered that he has to take back. Is he going to keep his job? No. So that's the nature of the world. The task is very clear, but the signs are ignored. It's not that they're not there. They're just ignored. And that's why how many a sign there is in the heavens and the earth that they pass by, turning away from it. It's all there. It's very obvious. But that's what the Quran is saying. People ignore these signs because they don't have time for them. They're too preoccupied. They're preoccupied with their worldly things, making more money, getting that bigger house, enhancing my portfolio, bulking up my CV. And the beauty of Islam is that it doesn't say turn away from the world. It says be in the world like a stranger. Just know that you're not going to be here forever, and then act accordingly, because a stranger does not behave like other people. If you come into a village and you're passing through it, you don't set up shop, you don't marry and have a family in the village when you know that you're going to leave. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean you don't do that in this world, but you do it with that understanding that these are things I'm going to leave behind, so that you don't become totally obsessed and attached to them.